Well, hey there everyone, it's Anthony back with another video here on Single and Placing. Hi, hope you're having a fantastic day, weekday, weekend, week, month, evening, morning, overnight, all of that good stuff. Today we are here to do a little whip and chat while I respond to some of your comments. Yay, yeah. So yeah, hope everyone's doing well. Having a fantastic day, weekday. Did I ever say that? Weekday, weekend, week, month, evening, morning, overnight. I think I did. I don't know. All that good stuff. Hi. And for those that are new, welcome. For those that are returning, welcome back. Hi. I hope you're doing well. Today I am, like I said, responding to some comments, but let's quickly run through what I've got in front of me. So I am working on the Inquisitor by Caroline Smith and Distracted by Diamonds. This is a 62 by 62 centimeter round drill canvas with 50 colors. That does include some enhancements. Let's see. Two ABs, it looks like, is what the kit came with originally, two ABs, but I've gone in and added 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 additional enhancements. So quite a bit going on this canvas. I felt like the artwork could handle it. I'll show you the artwork here. This is the Inquisitor by Caroline Smith. Very cool. I'm doing this for Mia's cat event that she has going on. It's a year-long event focusing on cats, ideally domesticated cats, but you can kind of get creative with it if you have other types of cats. But I thought this was just a really unique image. I've had this in my stash since I believe April of 2023. So I've had this for coming up on 3 years now, and I'm finally getting to it. You will see this little schmutz right here. It came like that. I don't know if something happened during manufacturing or packaging, but it has like this ink that's staining the canvas, but not a big deal. I will paint over that. But yeah, it's been interesting working on a kit that's been sitting in my garage / storage for that long. There's been a couple areas where the glue's either a little thin or a little dry, but I've been able to work through it and make it work. So so far, so good. For the most part. There's little things, and if we run into any of the things that have been not plaguing me, but little issues, I will absolutely call them out, but generally it's been fine. So yeah, I've done, you can see that we're sideways. So I've done, I work on it in a spiral. So I went along the bottom, up the right-hand side, across the top to here, and now we're coming from left to right back down to complete like a frame, and then I'll do it again and again, and then I'll end up in the middle of the canvas, so kind of doing a spiral. So I'd say we'll say 30% done with this canvas, I'd say. So not too bad of progress considering I started on this. I did 2 sections prior to January 1st, just to make sure that I was comfortable with the materials, and then went at it starting January 1st. So making some good progress. But yeah, I figured we could respond to some comments. I've got them here. As far as what else I've got my old school Mooney Made tray, single and placing. This is the large tray. I've got my old, I believe these are old Diamond Art Club tweezers. My funnel, which I don't remember where I got it from. My pen is from DP, or Diamond Painting, or Diamond Pen Pal, I think, Diamond Pen Pal. One of those flat-sided diamond painting pens. Love it. I've got my horchata Mary Mud that I'm working with as well. And then I think this washi tape is from Diamond Art Club or somewhere. I never keep track of where I get my washi tapes. So yeah, let's go ahead and jump into it. We're working with this check symbol, which is our first one, and that's going to be 42. My nose has been an absolute mess for like a week. We've been getting really windy weather. It gets warm, it gets cold, it gets warm again, it gets cold again. And so my sinuses have just been a mess, and it's usually like the first half of the day I'm sniffing and snorting, and then it starts to go away by the evening. But usually in the mornings into the afternoon, I am just a mess. So pardon me if I'm sniffling. I will pause to blow my nose a couple times, and I tried to do Flonase to help out, but it doesn't really seem to be helping that much. So just like runny and then sometimes stuffy. And I'm not getting sick. I thought I was getting sick there for a minute, but it's just the sinuses are just a mess. So anyway, so yeah. And yeah, it probably doesn't help that I keep the window open just to get some fresh air coming through. And with the wind, I think it's just, leaves are falling and then the wind blows all that stuff around. So I think that has something to do with it, but I'm hoping it goes away soon because I hate being all stuffy for half the day. All right, so let's get to some comments here. We've got Brianna Mattis saying, just bought it, so excited to unbox it in regards to my unboxing of Irradiant by Yume Art. Thank you. And then we have that Darla Girl saying, gorgeous, also I love your energy. Thank you for sharing this in regards to my finish and review of The Kiss by Gustav Klimt. Thank you. And Threaded and Glue Design says, so cool to meet you tonight. I forget their name. I didn't write it down, but I was actually mentioned this to Mia yesterday. So on Friday, this past Friday, I was just looking for a live to join. Was it Friday or Saturday? Either way, regardless. I was looking for just a live to listen along to or to join in. I guess not even a live, just something to put on. So I went on YouTube and went to the little home page, like the For You page, and there was a crafter that was going live that I hadn't heard of before, and I could tell that they weren't doing diamond painting, they were doing something else, but I was like, let me jump in here and just check it out. So I jumped in there. It was with a content creator, her name is Xena, I believe, and they were doing paper crafts. So I was just listening along for a little while. Then eventually I was like, oh, these folks seem pretty cool. So I jumped on the chat and just said, hi, my name's Anthony. I'm a diamond painter. I've been diamond painting for about 3.5-ish years now, almost 4 years. And I just, was looking for content and yours popped up. So I just wanted to say hi. They were so lovely and welcoming, and they were all doing their paper crafts. They had like a prompt that they had been given to work with. I think it was like a corrugated board or cardstock or something. I forget what the challenge was. So they were just making cutesy little things and little journal add-ins and stuff like that. So I listened to them for a good while I was diamond painting and just learning a little bit about their craft. And they were asking me about diamond painting because they hadn't done diamond painting in the past. And so, yeah, it was really cool. I met some cool non-diamond painting content creators and folks. So I'm going to try to remember to hop onto their that live when I can, just to stop in and say hi. But a bunch of them came over and subscribed. It was really cool to kind of step outside of the diamond painting realm and learn a little bit about some other crafts. I don't think I could start a new craft by any means, especially what they were doing. They had boxes of just all sorts of different stuff, and it was much more of a more creative than I would say I am. Like, they were like, what do you think about this? Oh, it would look good here. And they're grabbing stuff and gluing things and attaching things and trying to creating stuff, as opposed to, diamond painting's a little bit more linear where you're following the chart or the drill field. They were just like, I want this to be kind of boho, or I want this to kind of be more shabby chic. So let me grab some of this lace, and let me grab a couple of these beads here, and these gems are really cool. And I took this brooch and turned it into something else. I'm like, wow, that is so cool. I wish I had that kind of mind to just look at something, start from nothing and end up with like a really cool piece. Be it like a bookmark or whatever. So That was really cool. But thank you and welcome if you end up checking out my content. Welcome. Okay, let's see. There's that. So these, I believe, are acrylic drills, I want to say. I'm pretty sure they are. Which I don't mind, but it's just kind of, you have to work with them, I think, a little bit differently. The way that my pen grabs onto these kind of button top drills is a little bit different. So I just have to like keep that in mind as I'm diamond painting. And I probably will switch. I have another whip going, Inner Garden by Yume Art, and Diamond Art Club. And it's a square, I probably will switch over to working on that at some point, just to make some progress there too, as opposed to just working on this straight through. But so far, since I started working on this canvas in earnest, it's the only thing I've been working on. But I do have to kind of switch my brain when I switch from rounds to squares and when I switch from acrylic to resin. I feel like I have to pick up my drills a little bit differently with these types of drills. So yeah. Okay. So thank you so much. Kay Whittington says, so sorry I missed this. I was diamond painting and listening to an audiobook, so I missed the notice. Working on my Diamond Dots canvas, Conwy Castle. It's looking great so far. Oh, nice. Awesome, Kay. And Asia says, I love this painting. Has such a cozy vibe to me. I don't have any paintings by Ivy myself, but I really like what she creates. Great job, Anthony. That was in regards to my finish of Moon Girlfriend. Thank you. Tiny Turtles says, I appreciate unboxings. I find them really helpful when trying to decide whether to purchase a kit or not. Regarding Diamond Dots, the one kit I started of theirs, couldn't bring myself to finish. It was the worst quality of any kit I've ever experienced, including cheap off-brand you-know-what from Amazon. So in my honest opinion, Diamond Dots deserves all the constructive criticism that comes their way. Keep up the good work, Anthony. And also Apollo is the best. That's in regards to my vlog, episode 218. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Yeah, I finished my I finished my Diamond Dots masterclass. I think it turned out great. I gave it to the CEO of our company, is who I did that project for. I gave that to him yesterday. I was in office. He came down and grabbed it, and he was so nice and so kind. He's like, I love this. And I went to Vienna and saw the Kiss in person last year, and it's so cool to have a little version of it for myself to have, and he's going to get it framed and hung up at the office. So I was like, oh, cool. And I didn't mention to him because I also bought Woman in Gold Masterclass, which I've unboxed. I also bought that thinking I would give that to him as well, but I didn't mention it because I didn't want him to feel like, oh, I've got to take all these diamond paintings from this guy. So I think I'm just going to do that for myself at some point, maybe save it for a future event or something like that, and he'll just have the Kiss. He seemed really happy with it. I was worried it might be too small. I wanted something more grandiose for him, but he seemed very happy. He did pay me for it, which was very nice. He did pay me for that, and so I'll just leave it at that. Just leave him with the Kiss. He seems to really like it, and we'll see what it looks like all framed up. And then maybe I'll mention it to him that I have Woman in Gold if he ever wanted it, and see what his thoughts are. But I'm not gonna just start working on it and give it to him, because I don't want him to. He was like, I have to pay you. And I'm like, well, I mean, you don't, but okay. So I don't want him to feel obligated to shell out more money when he didn't ask for it. So maybe I'll mention it to him, and if he seems interested, then I'll get going on it. But for now, it's just gonna stay with me. Oh, I didn't pick up that drill. Some of these drills feel a little bit taller than others, so when you go to place them, some of them stick to the canvas easily when you're multi-placing, while others, if they're more shallow, they'll stay stuck to your pen, or they don't actually pick up off the tray. So that is one thing I've noticed. It's not every time, but it's fairly often that I'm like, oops, that one didn't pick up. It happens more with certain colors than others. And then and then again, certain areas of the canvas that either have thinner glue or have dried a little bit in the years that this has been sitting around, I do have to struggle a little bit to get them down. But this color is actually doing pretty good. let me blow my nose again real quick, and then we'll keep going with comments. One second. So thank you for that comment. Jolly Rogers says, I would much rather hear your actual opinions, good and bad. Otherwise, why watch? Well, thank you. I appreciate it. Ooh, that wind is getting windy. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Yeah, I mean, I think most people expect opinions, positive and constructive. I think what got to a couple people with my unboxing of the most recent masterclass, The Woman in Gold, is I just was being a little extra, and that's just my personality. So I'm sure I could have done that in a way that was more kind of kid gloves, more gentle in my criticism. But I am frustrated with that whole masterclass packaging and the pricing. So I definitely let that show. So, but I wouldn't change it. Like, I'm not going to go back and delete the video or redo it. It is how I feel about it. So it's just one of those things. I hope that I don't run into situations like that too frequently, where I'm like that annoyed with how a shop's presenting their product, or that the whole thing that I talked about. I hope I don't run into that super often. But yeah, thank you for the comment. We have Jimmy Jams. That's quite the name. Says, hi Anthony, I just watched my YouTube recap for 2025. According to it, I watched 12 times more videos than any viewer, and my taste is widely varied across many different channels. Surprisingly, the #1 channel I watched for last year was Single and Placing. Oh, well, thank you for being here. Since I found your channel in early January last year, I have watched and listened to every single unboxing and vlog. I love your sense of humor and would laugh out loud at so many of your funny stories and quips. I love going on walks with you and Apollo. Do not underestimate your value to the diamond art community and your positive effect on people worldwide. Looking forward to 2026 with you and Apollo. Oh my gosh, thank you so much. That's so sweet. I appreciate it. Thank you for being here. Yeah, I mean, I love doing this. Even though I took a little break over the summer of 2025, and most likely will be doing that again this year while I'm traveling and running around, it was so great to come back and catch up with everybody, and it's helpful to me to talk out loud and have kind of a little sounding board. I utilize you guys for that, and the companionship and being able to respond to comments and stuff is just so much fun. So I appreciate it. Thank you. Yeah, and that was in regards to my vlog episode 218. I had talked a little bit about, I had filmed a video where I was just getting really in my own head about the value, like what kind of content creator am I? Do I add value? And not maybe less, not necessarily do I add value, but more, am I just doing unboxings, and does it come off like I'm just selling to people when I'm doing unboxings? And this all stemmed from, I forget the content creator's name. I think it was like Whitney or something like that. I stumbled upon this video a couple weeks ago. I was trying to watch Diamond Art Club custom unboxings, and so I just searched for that and just hit the top video, and it just starts playing all these videos. So the first couple were about Diamond Art Club customs, because I have one being produced right now or worked on. Then all of a sudden it went to this video that was called like exposing diamond influencers or something like that. I don't remember. And it just started playing, and I started listening to it. I was like, wait, this isn't about customs. And then it started getting into it. I was like, what the heck is going on here? So I listened to it, and it just like made me get in my own head of like, oh God, am I one of those influencers that that this person is, or that she's talking about? And I was like, well, I do a lot of unboxings, and I don't have as many finishes under my belt as I have unboxings, and does that what it comes off as, and blah blah blah. So I filmed this whole like hour and a 40-minute long video trying to like process it in my head of like, should I be doing something differently? Should I quit doing unboxings because it just feels like I'm selling to people and blah, 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 blah. Then I realized shortly thereafter, after I filmed that video, I went back and I was starting to edit it. And I was like, I don't feel this way. I mean, if someone feels that way about me, I can't necessarily change that, but I don't feel that way about myself. I don't think I'm out here just getting people to buy stuff. I think I add more value to the space and other stuff I do. So I just needed to talk it through. But then I was like, I'm not going to post that video because I don't want it to come off like I'm sympathy baiting, like looking for people to be like, no, Anthony, you're not like that at all. So I was like, I'm just not going to do it because that's also not what I was looking for. I think I just needed to talk through it. And usually the way I do that is by turning on the camera. But I was like, this time I think I'm just not going to share this because I know I'm not that person. And it's unfortunate that that content creator feels that some of us are, some people are, but I know that's not me, so I'm not going to worry about it. So yeah, but I appreciate it. I mentioned a little bit about it. I didn't go into that, what had happened necessarily. I mentioned a little bit in that vlog 218 of like, I was just in my own head for a minute there. But yeah. Okay, that goes here. So I actually don't have the horchata putty in my pen right now. I just grabbed that if I need to reload right now. I've got the Grayson's Creations Intergalactic putty in my single and multi-placer, and it is a little bit more grabby than other putties, which I don't mind, but I just have to kind of be careful. Like, for instance, with this canvas, because the glue isn't particularly thick. It is sticky, but it's not particularly thick. And I'm a hard placer. Sometimes the drills don't like to stay. Also, like I said, it's because of, I think it has to do with the drill shape as well. But just getting in here, doing a little bit of detail work here and there. When I get to these areas where it's kind of confettied with a couple colors, I end up just single placing a lot of it. There we go. Okay. All right. Well, thank you so much for the comment. I appreciate it. And thank you for being here. Jimmy Jams goes on to say, I love Apollo. He makes me smile every time. Thanks for bringing us along with your walk. Of course. And Asia says, hi, Anthony. You don't even know how happy I am to hear from you, and I have to tell you that I've really missed your voice in Apollo. I have a lot of overdue videos to catch up on, but I'll finally make it. I took a long break from diamond painting because after my dog passed away, I was completely devastated. I'm so sorry. 2 months later, I lost my cat, Lola. Oh my gosh. I suffered for a long time and nothing brought me joy, but in June I adopted a dog from a shelter and my life is full of color again. It's not perfect, but I fight every day. I returned to diamond painting a few days ago, and the first thing I thought of was you. Oh, to check on you and Apollo. I'm glad you're still recording and joining me while I diamond paint. I wish you a wonderful 2026. You as well, and I know, I remember when you lost your pupper, I didn't even realize that you had lost a cat as well. I am so sorry. That's a lot. That's a lot. I can't even, I said this before when we were talking, when you lost your pupper, I can't even imagine going through that. And I know I will have to someday, but something I try not to think about too often. I've got my buddy Alex and his, and MJ, two of my closest friends. They have a cat, and her name is just Cat, and she got kind of adopted from, I'm sure I've told this story. She kind of got adopted. We used to live next door to each other in these like I guess we'll call them townhouses, but there was 4. It was 2 upstairs and 2 downstairs, but they're pretty large 2 bedrooms. There was a cat, and the neighbor had multiple cats, like 4 or 5 cats. And there was one that she said just did not get along with the others and was always getting into fights, so she made that cat an outside cat. So that cat would just roam the streets, and they'd put out food for it outside the back door, food and water, but they wouldn't let the cat inside. And back then, I did not believe I was a cat person, mainly because I probably still am, and I just fight through it, allergic. But I just force myself to deal with it because I love kitties. But back then I did not. I was avoiding the cat. This is so sad. It's gonna make me tear up because she's such a sweetheart, and it wasn't that I wasn't nice to her. I just was indifferent towards her. So she would come up on my back door, and I'd be like, "Okay, get out of here. I'm allergic to you. You can't come inside." And she'd look at like she was trying to come inside, and I'm like, "No, no, no. I'm allergic to cats. You can't be in here." And so there'd be times where I'd like be taking in groceries and she'd try to sneak into my house, and I'm like, "Hey, get out of here. Get out of here." And I know that she had food and water out, and then eventually I did start leaving like water and little treats and stuff for her, but I never let her in the house even when it was cold outside. And that's the mean thing of me, is like it would be really cold outside, and she did go into their house from time to time, but for the most part she was an outside cat. So it would be cold out, and I'm like, I'm sorry. I understand your plight, but I just can't have you in my house. So Alex and his girlfriend at the time came to stay, or moved in to the place next door to mine. But their place wasn't quite ready yet. They were doing flooring and some work on it. I'm getting some popping drills over here. That's not good. I'm going to have to seal this thing for sure. So they stayed at my place for a few weeks while their unit, their townhouse, was getting worked on. Well, I went to work, and after a couple days, I came home, and Alex was like, "You're going to be mad." And I'm like, "What?" And he turns around, and he's got the cat, and he's holding the cat and cuddling with it in my apartment. And I was not happy because, again, I was allergic. But he's like, "Sorry, I had to. She was at the door, and I just felt bad, so I brought her in." I'm like, whatever, but when you guys move, she's not staying with me. She can go hang out with you guys when your unit's finished. So that's what happened. When they moved out of my place into their place downstairs, they ended up taking the cat in and had a conversation with the owner, and the owner gave her up. Gave the cat to Alex, and that was, gosh, this was right. No, this was, yeah, it was right at the start of COVID. So 6 years ago, 7 years ago. So they've had the cat ever since. Anyway, long story short, they don't know the cat's exact age, but she certainly is showing her age now. She's just not moving around very well, and she just seems very frail, and she's lost a lot of weight, and she's just moving kind of slow. So I went over there on Sunday, and I was just cuddling with her and giving her kisses. She's being more lovey than she normally is, and he's preparing for, she's getting up there. So we were talking about it, and he was really sad, and I was like, well, she's getting up there. She's an old gal, but we'll see. I'm hoping that she's still got a lot of life left in her. She's just not looking the best. So, but they take good care of her. She was having issues. They had a platform for the cat food, so that way their dog Maverick, who you've met, couldn't get into the food. They had a platform for the food, so she'd have to jump up on the ledge, and then her food bowl and stuff was there. But she's been having trouble jumping up to get to her food. So when I went over, he was building stairs for her. And so I helped him finish those and got those installed. So now she has like a little set of stairs that she can climb up. But they're not big enough that Maverick could climb up them. They're just little stairs that he affixed to the wall so she can get up to her platform. I was like, oh, little baby. But, yep, those pets, I tell you what. But Asia, I'm glad that you have a new pupper in your life, and you'll have to send me pictures because I want to see. We got Apollo behind me passed out. Eventually we're going to need to go on our afternoon walk at some point. So anyway, thank you for the comment. Asia, I appreciate it. Then we have Bambi May says, I think your critique on diamond dots was spot on. As soon as you showed what was included, I thought anything for $1, let's add all this fluff and charge $150. All the added stuff was garbage. Thank you for your honest review. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. And Peggy Gotcha says, first off, get out of your head. I, for one, appreciate your honesty. You tell it like it is. More folks should be that way. I feel that your masterclass unboxings were well balanced. You praised the parts that deserve praising, and you expressed your concern on the pieces that weren't. Life isn't all unicorns and rainbows. Keep on being you. Thank you. And Riot says, "Hi Anthony, I've been with you for a few years now and missed you when you get busy in the summer. I think the Diamond Dots videos were on point. I don't do rounds, so it was irrelevant for my purchasing decisions, but I found it interesting. I saw Whitney's series." Okay, so yeah, all right. "And she did have a few valid points, but you did not come to mind while she made them. My pet peeve with everybody's unboxings is the amount of time spent on the toolkits and packaging, especially for Diamond Art Club. If you're not a sneak peeker or aspiring to be one, then make one mini toolkit video and refer to it while you get to the meat of the video. I do find unboxings from new shops more interesting and don't mind seeing everything that comes with the kit. You do tend to do more finished reviews, which I find most important. But I want to see more from smaller shops, not just you. Been waiting to see your review from Cresting from Creativity Squirrel for a long time. Did I miss it, or did you dekit it? Regardless, keep doing what you're doing." I did dekit that. I'm so sorry, but I will have some content coming up from Mystical Dream Diamonds. But yeah, there was nothing wrong with Cresting, and I regret kitting that down. I was just not, in that moment, really not feeling the high level of confetti and from the computer charting, and it was a big old kit. And although the color palette was beautiful and I love those colors, I think I was starting to get a little burnt out by so much detail work with kind of a lot of the similar shades. So yeah, I mean, I regret kitting that down. I should have just put it down in the basement and said, I will come back to you when I'm ready for you. But I was also in this, like, let's get rid of things kind of mood. And so I kitted that down, and I also kitted down my custom of Apollo, both of which I kind of regret in retrospect. If anything, I should have leaned on a crafty pal that would have been willing to finish it for me, because I have one now that has expressed interest in working on a kit if I don't want to do it anymore. I wish I would have leaned on that person and just asked them to finish Cresting and keep it. That way I could have at least seen it done. But I will be purchasing a kit from Creativity Squirrel again at some point in the future, so I can give them a solid go. I will say that what I did work on, I was very happy with in terms of the quality and everything, so I would absolutely go back and shop again and recommend them. I got across the bottom and then almost up one side, and then at that point I was like, you know how I am. I'm done with this. Like, I don't know. I was just in a mood. So yeah, I'm seeing, granted, these crystals, I just put one back that was sitting down here. These crystals are an add-on that I did from DP with Sparklers, but they're not too big for the canvas. They're seeming to want to pop. I lost one over here. It's just off camera that I'm going to need to pop on. So certainly going to need to seal this bad boy, which I don't normally do, but this one needs it, and I feel like I've sealed other Distracted by Diamonds, and I don't know if it was because I was losing drills or just because I felt like sealing it, but this one it's going to need to be sealed. Right now I'm working with a fairy dust that I added, this blue, and we were previously working on a drill that just came with the canvas. So but yeah, I added quite a few fairy dust to this. I added some crystals, some sparklers, pearls, bubbles. There's a little bit of everything. I kind of did a kitchen sink thing in here with this kit. I just added a bunch of stuff that was sitting in my spare drill storage for enhancements, and ordered quite a bit too for this project. So I hope it turns out okay. But yeah, we've got some drills that are coming off onto my hand, unfortunately. Those two are stuck together. Let's see if we can break those. Break them. Break. There we go. Okay, we'll do a little bit more of this blue, but you can see I'm going over my section. I tend to do that if I'm working on a color and there's more of it to be done past where my section ends. I'll just pop at least a few of them on there. Sometimes I don't go too far over because I keep getting my hand stuck to the glue, as you can hear. And sometimes I'll grab a release paper and put it under my hand so I can keep working way outside of my section, but I'll just call it there, even though I could keep going. But we'll call it. We filled in what we needed to fill in. So quite a bit of color blocking in this until we get to the cat, and then we'll have some detail work to do. Okie dokie. All right. Well, thank you so much for the comment. I appreciate it. Ooh, you know what? I might be able to condense these two containers. I love when I have the opportunity to do this. Yay! Oops, oops, whoops. Not 100% yay. Oh, Anthony. You dropped a couple. I gotta get those off the canvas. Come with me. Come with me. Okay. Cool. So I kit up all my drills, so I'll have multiple containers with the same DMC or same enhancement, whatever it is. But then once I get to a point where I have a container that's empty enough that I can marry the two, then I'll do that, and then I come over here and you're gonna see my arms. I just come through and I shift everything down. So that was symbol number 2, so now I've got to move everything over. For whatever reason, I take so much joy out of when this happens. I'm like, ooh, I emptied a container. And do a little dance. Okay. That wind, my word. Okay, come on, everyone. Shift. Everyone slide down. You're moving up one spot in line. Come on. Whoops, whoopsie. Just lost us. For whatever reason, I think I'm gonna have to clean some of my Art Dot storage jars. I think they're just getting coated in, like, over the years. The oil from my hands, or just maybe a little bit of residue from the easy release stickers, but I've noticed some of the Art Dot storage containers that I've had for longer aren't wanting to hold on to stickers quite as well these days. So I think I'm going to have to do a little bit of spring touch-up of those jars. All right. Thank you for the comment. Vaughn says, when you start your Dueling Dragons, it'd be good to film how you choose your enhancements. Just set up the camera and think out loud. Well, Vaughn, you're in luck, because I actually did start that process. We're moving on to J, which is 17, and that's another fairy dust enhancement that I've included. DP with Sparklers calls them pixie dust. But anyway, Vaughn, you're in luck, because I started that process. I grabbed Guardian of the Realm and Dragon Spirit for a challenge that I will be doing starting this spring, maybe earlier, depending on when this one gets done, where I'll be working on 2 kits at the same time, and I'm calling it my Dueling Dragons Challenge, where I have 2 kits that feature a woman with like a dragon kind of around her. So one's in kind of pinks and reds, and the other one's kind of in blues. So in my head, I was like, ooh, it's kind of fire and ice. It was inspired by Lizette Crafts and Tells. She does these larger multi-canvas projects that she calls her passion projects. So it's kind of the same idea, but I'm doing it with dragons and calling it Dueling Dragons or Dueling Dragons Challenge. So yeah, I filmed my deciding what enhancements to pick video. So it's sitting there ready to go. And now I need to do the same thing with Dragon Spirit. I did it with Guardian of the Realm. Now I have to do it with Dragon Spirit. Then I'll grab the computer and sit down with you all and place my order at DP with Sparklers and make some decisions. So that'll be coming soon. I filmed the first part of it, identifying what I wanted to enhance, made my notes, and then I kitted it up because I need to know approximately how many bags of drills I'll need to order, and I usually do that by eye, just looking at how many containers I used for each color. So I kitted it up, and then I was about to go right into Dragon's Spirit and start filming that, but by the time I finished that, it was like 11 o'clock at night, and I was like, okay, I'm going to bed. So that was a couple days ago, and I just haven't gotten around to continuing, but I will do Dragon Spirit next. We'll go shopping together, and then once my enhancements come in, then I can get those kitted into the art dots. And then once this project is done, that will be my next round drill project, is dueling dragons. So yeah, thank you. Thank you for the idea, Vaughn. I took it. All right. Majestic says, Anthony, your Diamond Dots unboxing was right on with your criticism. Please don't ever change. This is one reason I love watching you. You're never afraid to give your honest thoughts and opinions. I won't watch people who don't. We all know not every canvas or company is perfect. You need to stay true to yourself. We spend our hard-earned money on these companies, and we want to know what we are getting. I wouldn't have to say it any different. I also appreciate Whitney's exposed videos. I appreciate that she's not afraid of giving her opinions and experiences. She didn't worry about offending everyone. Not many, if any, would say what most or some of us are thinking. I have mad respect for her. Same for you. Be yourself. We love listening to your walks with Apollo. Well, thank you. I appreciate it. Yeah, I mean, I agree. Everyone, you say what you gotta say. I mean, it is what it is. It is what it is. It's your channel. You can do whatever you want. I think for me, it's just like it. While I appreciate it, it also made me, just being who I am, very self-conscious about my own content and channel. So rather than like taking that and being like, "Oh, she said what I was thinking," I was more like, "Oh God, is that me?" So I had a completely different reaction to it, and I think maybe it's different. I don't know, maybe it's like the content creator side of me and wanting to make sure that I'm doing the best I can, and just kind of getting in my feels about it. But again, I'm fine now. I just needed to talk through it and just move on. It's totally fine. But yeah, I did spend a little bit of a day that day when I stumbled upon that video. So yeah. Thank you for the comment. I appreciate it. I've got these little trashy bits in my tray that I'm going to try to pick out. Okay. Gotcha. Sometimes they get like stuck in my pen tip and I'm like, well, that wasn't smart to try to pick at those, but I got those. Okay. Got this drill. I can't tell. There we go. All right. Looking good, looking good. We've got these few little T's in the middle of all of our J's, so I've got to dance around those. Sometimes I get lazy and I'll accidentally place a drill on those when it's just a few that are empty. Sometimes I'll pick them off. Sometimes I'm in the mood of just like, well, that's fine, it was one drill, who's gonna notice? I usually try to clean it up if I can. Okay. Perfect. All right. Thank you for the comment. I know Majestic's name. Where's my... Let's see if it's close by. I have a cheat sheet of people's names that I need to just put into a document. Majestic. Is that right? Yes. That's Pam. Hi. Hi. Hey, I'm going to keep the cheat sheet next to me now. Okay. Vaughn says, I stumbled across that exposed creator a couple times and it's usually not 5 minutes before I think, oh, she's a complainer and I'm out. Complainer is different than honest reactions to problems and offering constructive criticism. Yeah, I mean, I think everyone had I had not heard about this. I did not know that content creator at all before that video popped up on my like autoplay. But I from what I understand, that video did ruffle a bunch of feathers, which I don't, whatever. I'm just not in any circles or scenes anymore to know what's going on. But yeah, I guess it was a whole thing a few months ago or a couple months ago. But yeah, I mean, if it's not for you, it's not for you. I totally get it, Vaughn. And to be honest, it's not necessarily for me either. Just because maybe it's just me being narcissistic, but I took a lot of it as like an, oh gosh, is that me? Am I that person? As opposed to like thinking, oh, that's somebody else. I don't know. Whatever. It's not the type of content that I want to consume. That's not my jam, because it does make me get in my own head and it feels pretty drama adjacent, and that's not for me anymore. So yeah, I would assume that their other content isn't all like that, but I wouldn't know. So yeah, I listened to that video and then I moved on. I was like, okay, back to looking at people's Diamond Art Club customs. That's what I was here to do. Which I did find a couple people that have gotten them and completed them. So okay, piece of trash there. I'm assuming these DP with sparklers drills are resin. So I'm working with resin and acrylic on this kit, which is interesting. Okay, oops. Come on, buddy, come on. Come on, you know you want to stick to that canvas. There you go. There you go. Okay. All right, let's see what else we got. I keep setting this down and turning because my computer's over, my computer's over here on the desk, so I have to lean over to read the comments. Thank you, Vaughn. Dean says, Anthony, I gravitated to your channel because of the honest opinions, which are very much appreciated. Please stay being you. Thank you. And Polly says, just be yourself, Anthony. I enjoy your videos, especially your walks with Apollo. I thought the price point for the Diamond Dots was quite high considering what you get for it as compared to other quality companies. Thank you. And yeah, I agree. And then Trin says, wow, Trin left a comment more than just heart emojis. I must have really had something to say. I think you're at your most authentic when you are critical of products. I prefer that to people glossing over problems because they picked a team. Hello, Dreamer Designs. You've even come back and talked how you had it wrong. Your first reaction to DAC treasure cards comes to mind. You are one of the most genuine creators I listen to. Oh, thank you so much. I appreciate it. Yeah, I remember the whole treasure quest card thing. When I first got them, I was like, this seems really pointless, and it felt like just another reason to create that FOMO of like, I've got to have the card. But I didn't realize that there was like the codes and all the stuff attached to it. Like there was something that you could get out of it, as opposed to just having a piece of cardboard that you gotta have them all, like a Pokemon card. So after I realized that there was more value to them than just the gotta have them all, I changed my tune. And now look at me, I have a custom on its way. So I really changed my tune, didn't I? But I am not perfect, and my opinions can change. They can fluctuate just like anybody else. So sometimes I'll be really emphatic about something, not liking it, and then I learn more, or something changes, and then I'm like, well, let me backtrack on that. And I think we all should give each other the grace to have those moments. Okay, are you going to stick anywhere? There you go. I think we might be getting to another section with some light glue. Okay. Come on, everybody. Just sit right where you're supposed to be. Okay. I'm loving the look of these fairy dust. I've taken notes on this canvas. I started actually making notes because I feel like sometimes in my finishes I'm like, oops, I forgot to mention that, or should have called that out. So I'm starting to take notes as I work on a canvas of like, I noticed this, good and bad, good and bad. There are some colors on this canvas that are very, very, very close. They are different DMCs according to the legend, but you could have fooled me when I started placing those drills next to each other, like the two different symbols. Like, this is literally the same drill. It has to be the same drill. So maybe it's just they're just super duper close, but it did catch me off guard when I was placing. It's a couple of browns or a tan, and I think it's happened more than once with more than one set of colors where I'm like, these have to be the same drill. They're just too close. And I'm like, well, if they are truly different DMCs technically, we should have made them one that we would have a little bit more color blocking instead of having to confetti these two colors that are, in my eyes, identical. But just, there's some things. We'll talk about it more as I work on this project more, and certainly on the finish. But there's some things left to be desired here for sure. But I have to kind of give it some grace in the fact that it is from, I think it was produced in 2022. I purchased in 2023. So, I mean, in 4 years, things have come a long way in terms of quality and rendering. Like, a lot of shops have made some leaps and bounds in that time. And so, and probably even distracted by diamonds, I just haven't bought anything from them recently, like in the last couple of a year at least, probably longer. So I can't really speak to them specifically, but certainly there's canvases, even from Diamond Art Club, that, you see improvements over time. So this definitely feels like a 2022, 2023 canvas. I'll just say that. But it's still workable. I'm still here doing it, and I'm making quick progress, and I'm not saying, oh, I don't like this, I'm going to bail on it. I'm doing just fine. There's just little niggles here and there that I've got to deal with. Okay. There we go. We're getting back to some stickier glue. I'm able to just drop and go, drop and go. Okay. So yeah, I'm just not sure. I want to just chalk it up to the fact of its age and that it's been sitting stored. And also the Grayson's Creations Intergalactic Putty does tend to be a little bit stickier. But there's certain areas that just feel thin glue-wise. So, again, definitely one that I'm going to have to seal, but it's all right. Okay, let's keep chatting. We've got Pam responding to Trin saying exactly, I was just about to say the same thing. I appreciate and respect any content creator that gives their opinions and are true to what they see. That's one of the reasons I love watching Anthony. He pulls no punches. If we are spending our hard-earned money on a product, I want to know diamond painting is not cheap, especially on premium companies. I tend to stay away from people who never criticize a canvas or company. They are not being honest. Well, thank you. I appreciate it. Yeah, I agree. Kay says, I'm always amazed at diamond painters that do exactly what you do, putting a kit on hold and working on another one. Once I start one, I have to finish it before moving to the next one. I've only done that once when the kit was really bad and threw it away. I think if I ever stopped working on a kit, I would never get back to it. Also, on another note, don't stress so much about your channel content. We have all stayed here and have no intention of abandoning you. Thank you. I appreciate it. Yeah, I mean, a lot of you that have been around can certainly attest to the fact that when I started diamond painting I was a one canvas person as well, and I stated as much that I couldn't see myself having all these whips sitting around. It would drive me crazy. Then I decided that I always wanted to have one square and one round because rounds move quickly. I get that progress, so it makes me, if I'm moving slow on a square, oh my goodness, come on. Moving slow on a square, then I can switch to my round and be like, I got 4 sections done tonight or whatever. And then, okay, back to the square, moving slow, and then, okay, let's hit that round. And it's usually why I tend to finish my round drills faster than my squares, because they go faster. And then I end up working on them more than I do my squares because I'm like, but that gives me more satisfaction of completion over there, so I'm gonna chase the good feels. But then I think it was maybe summer with the Masters and starting an old Masters, and then after the event I was like, yeah, I'm gonna set this aside, and then it sits around. So I've gotten to the point, I think there was a time where I had eight or nine whips going at once, which is crazy. And right now I've got 1, 2, 3, technically 4 if you want to count my Muka that's on a long-term hiatus down in the basement. I've got 4. So I've got Inner Garden, this one you see in front of you, and then Garden of Earthly Delights, which I would I would also claim is on a long-term hiatus because I've gotten like 2 sections done in a year and a half. So as far as my active whips, I just have 2 that I'm pulling down every day. But it's been as high as 8 or potentially more. I don't quite remember, but yeah. I broke that little rule pretty quickly. Okay, we're doing our lowercase italicized t, which is 47. We just have a little bit of that here. The other thing I have noticed with this canvas, and it's just a reflection of the artwork, is we have these pretty drastic color shifts where we go from these light yellows and then we get hit with these more intense yellows, almost verging on oranges, and it just shifts back and forth. So as I'm working on sections, it looks a little jarring, like, ooh, these colors, like you can see with these yellows, these colors look out of place. But then once you take a step back and look at it from a viewing distance, it comes together and it looks very much like the original artwork. So I'm not concerned about it, but as I'm working on it, I'm like, whoa, did I grab the right color? Because another thing that I have noticed with this canvas is the print is, I don't know if it was an ink thing with the printer or just the printer wasn't up to snuff, but the printed colors are much in a lot of areas. Sorry, I've got a frog in my throat. Sorry about that. Yeah, I've noticed that the printed canvas is lighter or more dull than the actual drills, which is fine. It's fine as long as the colors, it's not a completely different color. But I certainly have noticed on certain colors, especially the reds, where you can see it tried to print red, but then it faded into an orange. So there's areas where it almost looks like they are different. It's the same symbol, but it's got different shades printed underneath. So again, it kind of tricks your eye where you're like, wait, am I placing on the right area, because my drills are red but it's orange underneath, and it's just because the print is fading and you can see like where the lines, like some of it's red, some of it's more orange. So I think it's a printer. The printer was either acting up or something was going on. So again, 2022. But I'm hoping, I do need to buy another Distracted by Diamonds canvas from a recent release, find a piece of artwork that I like just to compare, because all I have left from them are this canvas and one other Caroline Smith from about the same time. So okay, now we've got this little symbol here, which is 8, and that is an enhancement. I went ahead and did these white opal sparklers. The original color is kind of this grayish blue, and I decided to go with these opal sparklers because they have a little bit of a gray hue to them. So Just pop a few of those down. Stick, 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 and stick. Yes. Good job. Okay. And I have so many extra of these. I don't know why I bought so many. I forget which canvas I was doing, but I have like 3 containers of these. I'm trying to use them up. Now we have our little kind of eye symbol. I call it my eye with like an eyelash. That's 21. There we go. Empty these out and let's get some more comments going. Cool. All right, Lisa. Hi, Lisa says, Happy New Year, Anthony. Don't dare think you're not the perfect diamond painting content creator, because hands down you are. And don't you dare change a thing. As far as Dreamer Designs goes, you were fair and spot on. I personally appreciate your honesty and felt the exact same way with the one I got. I was so pissed I literally gave it away. Oh, man. Well, thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you for the comment. Nova Scotian Hiker says, your channel is unique. I watch all your videos. I especially like your walks with Apollo. There's only so much one can do with an unboxing. I watch unboxings as well. I want to see the canvases and the drills. Now to watch unboxing Woman in Gold. You do you, Anthony. You are already one of the more unique diamond painting channels. Happy New Year to you and Apollo. Happy New Year to you as well, and everybody. Thank you. I appreciate the kind words, guys. That's very nice. I know. I was just getting in my own head and just always, I always try to think about, like, what can I do differently? How can I step up my game? And more recently, it's been in the production department. So upgrading my camera, my microphones, my editing software. I got the drone to add a little bit more interest to vlogs and stuff where I can. So that's kind of where I've been. But I think now that I kind of have what I need, at least for the next couple years in terms of equipment, some more actual like ideas for types of content, kind of refresh that, because I feel like I've gotten a little stagnant, especially since the summer, pretty much all of 2025, where it was just like vlog, 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 unboxing vlog, and more vlogging, which I know a lot of people like, so I'm not going to change it, but you know, I need to get back into, like, let's go to the museum, let's talk to this artist, let's talk to this shop, let's talk to, you know, that type of thing. So I'm going to try to devote more time to that type of content when I, where I have the time. 24. And speaking of which, there's an idea that me and somebody else have been actively working on, that plays into that, some new ideas, some new type of content. So I don't want to spoil it. We'll get there when we get there, but there's some exciting stuff coming down the pike. Okay, all right, stick, please. It'd be funny if I just got so frustrated with the glue during this whip-in chat that I'm like, guess what, guys, I'm quitting this one. I'm just kidding. It's not terrible, it's just, I expect perfection. Okay. So I think, oh, there's one more. You sneaky little heart. Okay. So we'll try to get the cat's face done during this whip and chat, and then we'll probably call it. I don't know how long we've been going, because I've been stopping to blow my nose, and I got some water there at one point. But we'll try to get this face done. Now we're doing kind of our planet symbol 13. That's this kind of chocolatey brown. Okay. Whoa, what happened? Okay. Thank you for the comment, Danielle. Renee says, I think all unboxings start to feel robotic after watching someone open the toolkit and the canvas and go through all the drills. It does get a little samey after a while. That being said, I like watching unboxings from a variety of content creators. I watch to see the canvas, but I really like how subjective art is, and everyone has their own first impression and opinions. It's always fun to see. Yeah, it definitely is. Barb Paisley says, hi, Anthony. Hello. Happy New Year. Doretta says, hello, Anthony. I hope you receive your Secret Santa gift. I I'd join just so they'd see I was left out if I were you. I participated in one too, and the gift I received cost $10. I'll admit I was a little salty and told the group my gift was only a few dollars. My gift to my secret person was about 60. Oh my goodness. Yeah. They did have a price limit, so we all spent about the same. And yes, I think maybe I haven't mentioned it on a video, but I did receive my gift. The person that I was assigned to, that was my Secret Santa, lives in Perth, Australia, so it was a shipping thing, which I kind of had a feeling it was. I was hoping that was the problem, and it was. So I didn't have anything to open during the call, the Zoom call that we did where everyone opened their gifts, which was a little bit of a bummer. But and they didn't reveal who my Secret Santa was, but the process of elimination, since nobody else received a gift from this person that was on the call, I just figured it was from him. And it arrived a couple days later, so it was just a couple days off. But yeah, it was from the Australian Post, from Perth, and I got a couple of little painter's palettes, like plastic painter's palettes, and a set of brushes. Because I have shared that I do diamond painting on the group chat. I think he thought that I did actual painting, so it was a good idea. I mean, I'll probably keep them because I do some acrylic painting here and there, and I paint the borders of my canvases, so it'll be nice to have those palettes for sure. But I don't know if I'll use the brushes, just because I have some brushes that I use just to paint the borders of my canvas. Whoops. That one was one too high, so you'd get to go back in. So I already have some brushes, and it's a really nice set that he got me with like wooden handles. And so I might save those for a day, maybe when I actually do start painting. Or my mom does a lot of painting, so I might see if she can use them. I'm not sure. But I probably will keep the little plastic palettes, just because I can put my black border paint on those and feel like I'm doing something extra artsy. Because right now I just put it in a cup. So, okay, music symbols 7. I feel like I'm saying a lot of stuff that's concerning me about this kit, but it's just the truth. There are a few colors that, even though I'm only about 30% done, that like this one that I feel like I'm like, I really hope that I don't run out. I have backups, but I don't know. There's a few colors I'm like, if I feel like there's more of this than I have, but only time will tell. Only time will tell. But yeah, Doretta, I did get it, and yeah, that's a bummer. I like the idea, if you're going to do a Secret Santa, that there is a set budget. And if you go outside of that because you're feeling generous, then, and I've done this too, where I've spent more than we were supposed to and not said anything, but you can't get mad if you don't get that in churn, you know, if you end up getting the $10 gift. I don't know what your situation was, but yeah, I used to be that person that would go above and beyond, but then I learned to just stick with the set budget, because other people can get annoyed too, like the budget's $20 and then someone gets like $100 gift and it's like, what? So I stick with the budget for my own sanity, and I know that that can irk others. Oh my gosh. Come on, glue. There you go. This is another fairy dust that I added. It's kind of like a wine colored fairy dust. The original color was this. So there's just a few scattered throughout. The cat has definitely had the most detail so far. There we go. I think that's all of them. This one has a hole in it, so I'm going to get rid of that real quick. Oh, haha. You thought you could get by. Oh, wait. Nope, those are above the line. I'm weird. I have a line here, so I'm only going up to that row, and if I accidentally place above that, then I usually pick them off. We'll get to you. You wait your turn. Okay. Okay. To 22% battery. I hope it sticks with us. Otherwise, I will pause you to swap the battery. Should be pretty easy. 11 is this one. So this is another one. I'm like, I hope that's enough to finish this kit. Okay. Oh. Oh, there you go. Oh. Come on. Work with me. Sorry. I got to confetti and now I'm focusing. Okay. All right, let's get those comments pulled up. Beautiful. I have some vlog clips that I've filmed over the past few days, but they're all just kind of hodgepodge. So I didn't have time to do a full hour with you guys. So I have one where we walked around town just for a little bit, and then my mom called, and then I ended up talking to her for an hour. So I'm like, I'll tie it to another clip. Then I have another clip where I went hiking with Alex and MJ that I was just going to do as a whip and jam because we were talking the whole time. So I was like, I'll just put music behind it. Have some drone shots of the sunrise from a couple days ago. So I've just got all these little bits and bobs that I'm like, do I stitch these all together and try to make some sort of semblance of cohesion around it? Or do I just say forget it and scrap it and just start fresh? I don't think any of them were were ones that I was responding to comments. It was all just live catch up, so it wouldn't be like I'm skipping people's comments. So I haven't decided. I need to go back and I need to upload them all into the computer and see if I can scrape something together out of it. Otherwise, I might just delete them and start again. I'll keep the sunrise drone shot because that was really pretty. It was very blue and pink and red in the sky. So, okay, let's grab one more color and we'll get back over there. This is another enhancement. So we just did... I think those were AB sparklers, and then these are just regular sparklers. These are actually more of a wine color, and then I replaced that with it. A little bit darker, but still works. Okay. All right. Thank you, Doretta. Sintra says, hi, Anthony. I greatly enjoyed seeing Colorado through the eyes of your drone and from your car. It reminded me of the drives I would take with my husband in our Mini Cooper. Sadly, he passed 2.5 years ago from colon cancer. Oh, I'm so sorry. This time of year can be hard for many of us. I'm thankful there are content creators like you who participated in the Christmas event that kept me company while I either worked on a diamond art kit or just listened sitting by the fireplace. I can tell you are the sensitive soul who puts so much thought and effort in all you do. It's disappointing when people choose to participate in something and didn't follow through. Fingers crossed that your gift shows up. Loved hearing that you and your family tried something new this year for Christmas. Happy New Year. And know that I appreciate all you do. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. And yeah, I did get my little gifty. I was very thankful. And I filmed a little video of myself unboxing it and put it on the chat. That way, oh, jeez. What just happened? That way people in the group could see that I did receive it. Oh, man. So these are actually sparklers for squares. So they're a little bit smaller, which is, I've found as long as I'm not using them in big color blocking chunks, I can put these smaller rounds on it that are meant for a square drill on a round drill canvas without issue. It's just that if I had a bunch of color blocking, then I'd have obviously some gapping. But when they're just little onesie twosies, it's not that big of a deal. Whoops. That one's above. Okay. Keep getting tripped up with that. But with this glue and the fact that they're smaller, they can't get as much grip, so it's tough. Oh, we have a drill that popped over here. Come on. I'm wondering if I should seal this as I go. We'll see. We'll see. We'll do a few more sections and see what this ends up turning into. If it turns into a mess, I might start sealing it as I go. Okay. Then we have this one just off camera that I lost, but I want to get to it so I don't forget. And that is 26. And this is a crystal that I got. These really pretty orange crystals. I'll pop that in there. Stay. Don't leave me this time. Okay. That's it, I think. Yep, cool. I ordered way more than I needed for that crystal, so you'll see that coming back around someday. I should have got one bag. I got two. That's okay. All right, next up is our T symbol. Triangle. That's 20. And that's this one here. Okay. Thank you, Sintra. Marsha says I ordered my masterclass kit a year ago. It had 0 enhanced drills, just the micros. I can't wait to see both of yours finish. Thank you. And Elnora Louisa says, while you are after everyone at Diamond Dots. So this is one of the ones that I was like, oh, okay, I didn't realize that's what I was doing. While you're after everyone at Diamond Dots, have you seen their new canvases that are black felt with neon colors? I just got one today from Amazon for $24.99. The neon colors are unbelievable. It's an 18 by 14, but which I feel is very reasonable. A bit worried about the felt when I do the painting, but many years ago I did a paint by number with felt background and it survived. So I guess this will be okay, but the best part, they include a sticker sheet. Oh, nice. I'll have to check that out. That gives me throwbacks to, they used to have coloring pages, or you'd have a coloring poster. I know Lisa Frank used to do these, where it was all felt, all the black was felt, and then you got your markers out and colored like a dolphin or a zebra or something. So we'll have to look at 18 by 14 is a little too small for my taste, but I will take a look because that makes me curious. Okay. There we go. Yeah, that is a very interesting idea to have a felt partial. I wonder if the felt would the fuzzies come off and get stuck under your canvas? Maybe I'll have to get one just to experience something new. Stick, thank you. Stick. And stick, okay, and one more. Boom, all right. Now we're doing, we are down to 13%. I don't think it's gonna last. I might have to swap the battery out for you guys. We'll get down to where it's in the single digits before I swap though. The nice thing about using my action camera, that's what you're looking at, is I can have my phone be my monitor. Whoa, that was cool. My phone be the monitor so I can see what you're seeing without having to check because the camera goes black after a couple minutes to save battery. So I can look at my phone and see how long we've been going, the audio levels, percentage. I can do my zoom in and zoom out, all this stuff. Okay, 10 is next, and 10 I replaced with another pixie dust, fairy dust. So that was the original color, and I went a little brighter. Okay. Yeah, thank you for the comment. Sarah Barden says, this is so gorgeous. I did pick this one up and plan to do some additional enhancing. That's for Yumi from Margaret Morales and Diamond Art Club. Thanks for sharing, of course. Lisa says, around 80 bucks seems right, and that's with a canvas that doesn't feel half as good as Diamond Art Club's or Jaded Gem Shop, in my opinion. Yeah, I could see 80 being reasonable. Vaughn says, I kind of like the color chart, although I'd probably never use it either. It'd just be nice to have as a reference if you mix colors, or even as a conversion chart if you just held your DMCs up to it one by one. Yeah, for sure. I think there is, I don't know if it's on the Diamond Dots site or somewhere, there is a Diamond Dots to DMC conversion somewhere. I've seen it online in years past. So I guess you could go to that and then just hand write them all in. But I guess it could be a nice to have. But yeah, for the purposes of is this what makes this kit a masterclass, I'd say no. It is a nice to have, even if it was like a digital download, but I don't know about putting that in all the canvases. Especially if you buy more than one masterclass, it's like, how many of those do you need? You know, I get maybe needing an extra pen, but needing multiple legends. Oh, we're getting messy, guys. Oh, man. Okay. You go there. There we go. Okay. Got a little dry spot right here that I'm having to be careful with. Come on. There you go. I'm going to take my fingernail and try to get it to stay. Okay, 2 more. We got this. Okay. Stay. Don't leave me. Okay. All right, we're down to 10%. We'll get it. Let it drop a couple more. Should have put a fresh battery in when we started this. But I didn't. Oh, you know what I could do? Hold on just a second. I'm just gonna plug it in. Anthony, what are you thinking? Hold on. Okay, well that was an easy fix. I just plugged it in. It's like I'm gonna have to take it off the mount and switch the battery. I could just plug it in. Okay, and as I was doing that, I went to go get my little charger off my shelf that has all my equipment, and my phone mount for my little phone mount that I use when I want to hook up my iPhone instead of the regular camera fell off the shelf and part of it cracked. I bought a metal one that just came in this morning. I bought it because it was on sale, and I was like, well, I don't need this right now, but it is metal. It's super sturdy. Someday, you know, I will need it. And it's 40% off right now, so I'll grab it. And in the moment when I was buying, I was like, I really don't need this. Lo and behold, my current one just fell off the counter and cracked. It's plastic and it broke. So that was good timing, I guess, that I got a replacement in just earlier today. That wind, my word. Okay. Coming across. Okay, that's everything we need there. All right, so you can see in the face, the cat's face, we have quite a bit of detail work. I'll move the camera a little bit so you can see more of it here in just a second. So I'm working up there in the top corner. But yeah, I shift it down. Here's a kitty. Hi. Okay. All right, next color. Let's go ahead and do these 3 10s. That's 5. Okay. Doretta says, hi, the scenery is stunning. I hope you had a great Christmas. I did, and I hope you did too. Lisa says, lovely block of vlogs you have done the past few days, Anthony. I'm really getting places on Cordion Babe, and yes, she is by Enos Guerrero. I'm halfway done now. Nice, congrats. Hopefully I'm getting some steam back from my diamond painting break. Thank you for the great company while I work on it. Have I told you lately that I love you all? Well, I do, and hands down the best, cutest, most intelligent class act ever. Thank you so much for yet another year of keeping me company. Thank you, I appreciate it. I just realized that, yes, I was responding to some comments in a previous vlog, so I'm going to have to post that because there was somebody's comment that I do want to make sure that I respond to. I guess I'll say it here too. So there are a few crafty pals that I've shared I could have sworn I placed that heart that blue. Did it come off somewhere? Maybe I just missed it. That I have shared my phone number with, which I'm okay doing in certain circumstances. Oh, now I just pulled that one off. Oh, yeah, yeah. Okay, let's take you off and put you back down. Stay, please. And I'm totally cool with a text message. I'm totally cool texting and chatting. Or if you do want to chat on the phone, that's okay too. I don't have, I mean, I work most weeks, I work a 5-day work week one week and then a 4-day the next. And so I do have time from time to time to have a chit chat. I'm totally cool with that. I would prefer if you want to do something like that and don't have my number, we can always do an Instagram call. I'm cool with that. But please reach out to me via text message or Instagram message first and say, hey, I'm not sure, if you're free, let me know. Like, let's schedule time. Essentially, I'd prefer to have like a set time so I know that I'm not going to be busy. I don't have other stuff going on. We can sit and chit chat while I'm diamond painting or whatever. But if we can like plan it out and then have a call, that's how I do it with most, even like family a lot of times. Like, hey, when are you available for a call? I just wanted to check in or chat. Oh, well, let's do Friday at this time because I have Friday off, or let's do this at this time. But I typically won't just pick up if someone gives me a call out of the blue. And usually my phone won't even ring through if it's a number that has never called me before. So I know I need to respond to this person, but I did have someone reach out and I saw that a voicemail was left or a WhatsApp voicemail or something. And I feel bad because I wasn't there to answer it. And then I also don't want anyone to be like, well, Anthony's just gave me his number and then he's just ignoring me. It's not that at all. It's just the call out of the blue is not really, it's never been my style. Like internet or in like personal life with friends and family. Unless it's like my mom or my brothers that are calling me without saying, hey, do you have time to chat? I'm usually just going to let it ride and then text somebody back and be like, hey, sorry I missed your call. If you need to chat, no, let's figure out I'm free now or whatever, figure out a time. But yeah, I don't ever want someone to feel disappointed that I didn't answer with an out of the blue call, but at the same time, it is a boundary that I'll set, and I hope that doesn't upset anybody. Shoot me a text or an Instagram message and be like, hey, I'd love to check in and chat. Can we, when do you have some time? I feel like I hope that's pretty reasonable. Okay, let's get to, I don't know why it popped in my head because I mentioned it in a vlog. And then I'm talking about potentially not posting those, but I'll have to go back and listen. I'm going to probably have to include that because I was responding to comments. Okay, now we have this X symbol, and that's 34. And this one I did, these are sparklers, and they're called a mocha, and the shade is Sakura. It's this really pretty pink. I've got a couple of those. Okay. Looks like we've got 3 more colors to do. Okay. These glass drills are so heavy in the tray and they make the canvas heavy. Okay. Alrighty. Elnora Luisa says, I did the old kit, the original, and it's still my favorite kit that I've done. This is in regards to Women in Gold. I don't know if the enhancements are the same, but I don't think anything needs to be added. It's so blingy, diamond dots shine more anyway, and then you add all the special drills. It's just crazy. As far as waste, yeah, there's a ton in diamond painting anyway, and I think if you're going to fault diamond dots, then you also have to fault DAC, as their new toolkits have a lot in them, but to most of us, are waste after we get a few. I like doing the little sparkle pals when I'm bored, when visiting, and there is a complete toolkit for each one. Now that's a lot of waste. I know the best thing would be to make all this optional, or like Jade or other shops do, but hard for these large companies, but that would be ideal. I much prefer the calmer you and your unusual boxings. Thank you so much. This is another one that kind of made me think back. I agree with you, and I forget when I did that. I did like 6 unboxings back to back, and I was talking about the waste in toolkits and all this stuff. And then after I did all the unboxings, I dumped all the what I would consider trash onto the table just to show how much there was. So yeah, I haven't shied away from commenting on waste in diamond painting in general. I think with the diamond dots, more than it being waste, it's like, Diamond Art Club sends a toolkit, which you can use, but sending a cardboard Mosfa tray holder that's like super flimsy and can barely stand up on its own, I think that is a little egregious. That's beyond just a toolkit. That's just putting trash, just non-functional trash into a kit beyond just the toolkit. And then that big old cardboard pamphlet that goes over every single DMC, and it's like 6 pages long. That's just, I guess for a lack of vocabulary, that's just dumb. That doesn't add, it's not a toolkit. It's not anything that, oh yes, somebody that's new could really, like, it adds no benefit to working on the actual canvas itself, really. It's just there just to pad it out to justify the price. And I don't think a toolkit necessarily falls into that category. A toolkit is something useful for a new diamond painter. But to send like that little cardboard tray thing, it's like, well, nobody can really use this because it doesn't stand up on its own, really. So it's just garbage for garbage sake, or garbage to justify a price. And I think there is a difference there. So I've talked about trash before, but I think the way that Diamond Dots has done that is more egregious than any other shop that I've seen send a toolkit or other items like a cover minder or a piece of washi tape, stuff that I could actually use. Putting all that other stuff in there just seemed really silly and pointless. Whereas I do see a point to adding a toolkit, even though not all of us use it, and yes, it could be optional, but I wouldn't say Diamond Art Club should put an optional flimsy cardboard tray shelf. I hope that makes sense. Like I do believe that there is a difference in the waste of, some people do need this, like a toolkit, and putting in something that's like, this is just fluff. It's nothing. This is nothing. And I take issue with that because they're using that nothing to charge you $150, in my opinion. So, yeah, I'm sorry you didn't like it. I'm sorry, and I hope that doesn't turn you off. But I don't think I'm gonna give any on that. That just really got under my skin when I took that out and had to go watch a YouTube video on how to assemble that dinky little tray shelf. I'm like, you've got to be kidding me. What do they think they're doing? I'm not fooling anybody. So yeah, I could have made that out of some construction paper at home. Some cardstock. So, okay, let's get to a couple more because I'm down to the last 2 drills here. Okay. Matt says strike 2 this time might have been a long foul ball as opposed to a swing and a miss. Hit hard on some of the things that matter, but still just wide of hitting it where it counts with all the premium stuff that is more trying to justify a price first. Make the kit, then decide a price. I don't have a price in mind, then try to come up with the cheapest way to justify it. Thanks for sharing, Anthony. Edited to add, there are things that could be done and would add great value if they feel like the price needs to be high to feel elevated. More likely if the microdots become more common, that a small shop will have to address when they could have been the true innovator. But a tray that works ideally, a nice slightly larger tray with thinner lines, a quality metal tip to go in our custom pens, even an off-the-shelf nail art rhinestone pen, maybe even multi-placers if they do more grid-style microdots, Metal would really set this into what would be called, rightfully be called a masterclass kit. I agree. Put in some washi tape. Throw in some metal tips. Maybe instead of giving us 3 pens that you can't, or 2 pens that you can't put a multi-placer on, give us 1 pen that you could. That's nicer. Yeah, there's things that could be done there, and I just feel like they tried to take the easiest and cheapest way out, or just don't do it all and don't charge that much. But yeah. Sorry, I went a little too hard on diamond dots for some people, but yeah, I feel like it was, I don't know. That's how I felt. I don't know what else to say. Rose says, I just ordered Woman in Gold. I have been on the fence as to which one to get. I had to go with the original, not specifically because of pricing, but because of the micro dots. I agree with all you said about them. I bought a mini set to try it out before I got Masterclass, but also that I have to focus so much on getting the micro dots in that tiny circle that was hurting my hand. I typically work on an easel, and there's no way I could do micro dots on an easel. Good constructive criticism, even if it gets a bit real at times, but we're asking real money. Thank you. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Yeah, I didn't know that the micro dots came in anything other than the Masterclass kits, so that's interesting. But I did notice, because you have to single place them all, and they're tiny, and you kind of have to focus, that my hand was starting to hurt a bit. Wait, what color am I working on? N? It's 46. Okay, I almost put the wrong color down. My hand was starting to cramp up after working on larger sections of the mini dots or the micro dots, so I totally get it. Okay, that was the last drill. Let's do one more comment, and I'll reveal the next section for you so you can see what it's coming up, but I'll go ahead and wrap it up here. Sigh Just Because says, I cackled when you started singing Let It Go. I ended up crying from how hard I laughed. Oh, thank you so much. Thanks for the comment. Yeah, I was singing Letting Go of the Masterclass. Okay, so this was our trash from today. I just set all my trash here like that. Then when I'm done, I have a jar that I've labeled T for trash. And I just take my little finger and pick up that trash and bop it in there. So that was our trash. Pretty minimal overall for this kit so far. Then if I had any random drills that got lost or decided to run away, I've got a container labeled R for random. And I'll set this aside. I didn't even have to reload my putty from last night. That intergalactic putty lasts quite some time. Okay, so take our tweezers here. And oh, there's a little bit of trash right there. It's okay, I'll just set that over here. Actually, I better put it in the container because it's just going to end up on the floor. Sorry. Reached over you, pardon my reach. Is the battery charging while we're filming, or is it just keeping it alive? It's just keeping it alive. Okay. At least it did that. Okay. So, ooh, color blocking, hello. So yeah, we've got two main colors and then a couple more. So this section's gonna go super duper fast. But you can see this is the top of her shoulder right here where her dress is, and that looks like it would be 310, and it is technically, but it's not the same 310 that we're using on the cat. This 310 is an AB, so her whole dress is done in 310 AB. I don't know how, I need to see it when it's all done. I don't know how I feel about it quite yet. It's a lot, like you can see, that's all 310 AB, that's all 310 AB up there. It's a ton of 310 AB color blocking, and I don't mind 310 AB. I don't think I've worked with a kit quite yet that's used it, but I do appreciate that some shops are brave and use it because it does have a very unique effect. But the iridescence, because I've worked on it at the bottom of the canvas, the iridescence the reflectiveness does mess with my eyes. So I think I'm going to start placing that last, because when I place it first and then I come through to go do my detail work, I'm like, oh, it's almost blinding how reflective and iridescent is. So it actually slows me down. I'll show you. I think I can show you. Yeah, so you see that, all that 310 AB. So I did all that first, and then I was doing these little bits of red and stuff, and I was like, oh, my eyes. So I don't know if that's gonna translate to it's not gonna look good or it's hard to look at, but it is blingy, blingy, blingy. So all right, well, I'll let you go. Thanks so much for coming along while I did a little whip and chat here, responding to some comments. I appreciate it. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share this content with friends, family members, anyone that you think might take some value out of it. Happy placing. We'll see you next time. Bye. 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 Bye.